Hello overclockers and welcome to this week's episode of News Weekly. This is where we bring you the latest gaming and tech news. If you're enjoying the series so far, don't forget to hit that subscribe button. This week we have a special guest, plenty of gaming news and more information about Black Friday, so let's get into it. Kicking the video off with the gaming chapter of the news, our first story is about Assassin's Creed Valhalla. Ubisoft confirmed on November the 17th that Valhalla has sold through more units in its first week than any other Assassin's Creed game sold during the same period. Assassin's Creed Valhalla has also become the top-selling Ubisoft PC launch ever. That is certainly impressive, and it's no surprise that it topped the sales chart in the UK last week, beating out Call of Duty Black Ops Cold War. One of the producers, Julien Laferriere, thanked fans for the incredible support and let us know there will be plenty more content arriving in the near future to keep players immersed for a long time to come. Moving on to our next story, which is from Bethesda, who have announced the release date for their upcoming game, Deathloop. Deathloop is the next game from Arcane Leon, the studio behind Dishonored. This action first-person shooter is set in the 1960s, and the main hero Cole is trapped in, you guessed it, a death loop. You guessed it, a death loop. You guessed it, a death loop. Am I repeating myself?
I don't think so.
Your mission as Cole is to take out 8 targets on an island in just 24 hours to break the constantly resetting time loop. Each new day is a chance for you to change tactics, try different weapons, and utilize different abilities to complete Colt's tasks and finally escape from your rival assassin, Juliana. Deathloop will launch on May the 21st, 2021 for PC via Steam and the Bethesda Store, and also on PlayStation 5. It was originally planned for 2020, but it has joined the long list of games delayed by the coronavirus pandemic. By pre-ordering the game, you'll get an additional skin and trinket. The standard edition is $49.99 and the deluxe version is $64.99. Fun fact, Deathloop also rhymes with 2 of my favourite foods, hula hoops and spaghetti hoops.
It's so cheesy.
Our next story is that CG product Red has teased us yet again on what to expect from Cyberpunk 2077. Our next story is that CG product Red has teased us yet again on what to expect from Cyberpunk 2077 when it hopefully releases on December the 10th. In the 5th episode of NightCity Wire, which debuted on the original release date of November the 19th, we got to hear more about Keanu Reeves' character, Johnny Silverhand. There was also much more covered when it comes to the soundtrack and the gameplay, so let's take a quick look at it.
You don't believe in no fate, every day digging the grave, stepping up to what it stakes, city of dreams, city of...
Cyberpunk 2077, Johnny Silverhand. What CD Projekt Red has shared with me in the way that they talk about the game and what I've seen is that it's got a lot of freedom. There's so many different paths that you can play the game on. But it's not just quests of paths. It's like, who are you? How do you want to play the character?
If I gotta kill, I'll kill. If I need your body, I'll fucking take it.
Score is the main vessel of emotions in both movies and video games, and Cyberpunk 2077 is no different.
It actually took us a long time to find the right color of the music.
Getting that sound together is almost as important as the actual look of the game itself, because the music is really helping you feel this emotional connection to the game.
And your dirty money. Welcome to the next generation of open-world adventure. Immerse yourself in Cyberpunk 2077.
Cyberpunk 2077 looks amazing and I cannot wait to get my hands on it, and my hands cannot wait either.
That's the weirdest gaming ever.
To kick off the hardware chapter of the news, I'm going to introduce our special guest 8Pack, who's going to tell you all about our overclocked upgrade bundles.
Hey Overclockers, 8Pack here. Recently I've been testing the latest AMD CPUs which have just come onto the market, the 5950X, the 5900X, the 5800X, and indeed I found them to be the absolute best performance in all your games, and indeed for the number of cores, core for core, the best performance across the whole market. So maybe an 8-pack, I decided to immediately offer these bundles so that you can take advantage of this great performance. So what I'm offering is a lot of options and aiming at everyone who wants that top performance. So we've got ATX, ITX, a range of CPUs, 16 core and 12 core, a lot of memory options and a lot of cooling options. So let's go a little bit into more detail of what's on offer. We have the 5950X CPU, which is a 16 core CPU, or the 5900X CPU, which is a 12 core CPU. In my testing I discovered that if you overclock these to around 4.65 GHz, you get the best of both worlds, so the best gaming performance and indeed the best content creation stroke rendering performance. So my bundles are targeted at this magic figure of 4.65 GHz no matter what CPU you choose. Then you can choose your motherboard depending on the form factor of your case. Do you want ATX? You can go for the ROG Crosshair Hero board. If you want ITX for a small form factor build, you can go for the ROG Crosshair Impact board. In terms of memory, we're starting at 16 gig and going all the way up to 128 gig, and speeds all the way up to 3600 MHz, which on these CPUs really optimizes performance. As far as cooling goes, you've got AIO water cooling for those who don't want to delve into the custom loop, or for even better cooling and possibly even higher overclocking, you can go for an EK custom water block or even a custom water kit. To get your hands on these superlative quality bundles, follow the links in the description below. The pricing starts at $1299.95.
Our next story is that Nvidia is creating its own version of Smart Access Memory. AMD recently announced a new feature called Smart Access Memory that helps to increase gaming performance. This is when RX 6000 series graphics cards are used with an X570 motherboard and Ryzen 5000 processor. However, AMD has now said that Smart Access Memory is based on the resizable bar PCIe standard, which means that any hardware based on these standards should also work. AMD themselves have currently only tested the specific pairings that advertise, but they did say they will work with other hardware vendors who want to support the technology. Nvidia is already working on introducing support for Smart Access Memory to its graphics cards. We know this because Nvidia told Gamers Nexus it will enable it on Ampere GPUs through future software updates. What's exciting is that apparently they already have it working and are seeing similar performance results to AMD's Smart Access Memory. It will be interesting to see if Smart Access Memory will become the new standard for gaming hardware in the future. I personally certainly welcome hardware vendors working together to give us more performance. Our next hardware story is about the Radeon 6000 graphics card launch. On the 18th of November, AMD launched the MBA, or Made by AMD, 6800 and 6800 XT graphics cards. As you can imagine, demand for these graphics cards was huge and overclockers sold out of the limited supply extremely quickly. However, on the 25th of November, a number of AIB partner cards will become available. The reviews have all been extremely positive, and here's what 8Pack thinks.
So I've been testing the 6800 XT with the pre-release driver for a couple of weeks now, and what I found is the card can overclock all the way up to 2.6 GHz, which is absolutely crazy on its standard air cooler. Once you're up at those frequencies on Firestrike Extreme and even the 4K Ultra benchmark, the 6800 XT can take out the mighty 3090 by Nvidia on those particular benchmarks. I'm not impressed we're going to make another video showing all these results and include within this video a new great 8-pack system for you all to have a look at.
Thanks 8-pack. We're going to be doing our best to get those cards back in stock as soon as possible. If you want a pre-built system with a 6000 series graphics card and you want it to arrive before Christmas, make sure to get your order in before our cut-off date of November the 30th. Our final story this week is once again about Black Friday! Today, Overclockers is going full force with exciting Black Friday deals, and you can get great savings on monitors, laptops, cases, and even gaming chairs. Black Friday will be running until the 6th of December, so you've got enough time to take advantage of all these great offers. Remember to stay safe and shop online. Thanks for watching this week's episode of Overclockers News Weekly, and thank you to 8-pack for joining us. Remember to hit that like button, hit subscribe, and smash the bell icon so you get a notification of next week's episode. I'll see you then.